Hey loves, welcome back to another lovely tutorial. So today's video we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful gathered wrap dress. So if you're interested in this video, please keep on watching and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So for this tutorial, we'll be making use of this beautiful crop fabric. What I have here is 3 yards of fabric, but I would advise you to get more than 3 yards, maybe 3.5 or 4 yards because of the gathers and the sleeves. I was actually managing my fabric here. So, but this is the fabric we're using and let's get right into this video. So as we all know, we are making a wrap dress. We are going to start with the upper bodice first. I'm making use of this, my basic bodice pattern, to cut out the back. So this is my basic bodice pattern and I'm going to make use of this. The neckline, I'm going to make it 2 inches because this is like 3 inches, the basic bodice. And for this dart, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to use darts on this dress. And I'm not going to remove the dart allowance. I'm just going to leave it like that so that I'll have enough ease for the wrap. So here my fabric is already unfolded. So I'm just going to adjust this to fit my basic bodice. And once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut it off. So here I'm going to proceed to cut the neckline for the back. So my neck depth is going to be 2 inches and the neck width is already 3 inches. So once I mark that, I'm going to connect it with a curve to the shoulder. Once I was done, I'll go ahead and cut it off. So this is what we have for the back panel and I'm just going to keep that aside and we'll proceed to cut the front wrap. Here I folded my fabric into 2 as well because I want to cut the both sides of the front. So if you want to cut the both sides of the front, just fold your fabric into 2. And when you're folding this fabric, have it in mind that we are going to extend this by 8 inches extra. So I added extra 8 inches to this fold. So I'm going to explain it now. I'm going to place my basic bodice as you see me doing now, and then I added extra 8 inches. This is for the wrap effect that we're going to have on this dress. So I added extra 8 inches depending on how you want your wrap to be. It can be 6 inches, it can be more than 8 inches. So yeah, this is what I have here. I have like 8.5 inches here for the wrap. So always bear that in mind before folding this together. So once I'm done with that, I'll go over to my chest line and come out by 2 inches. If you want your cleavages to show, you can decide not to extend this part, or you can just come out by just 1 inch. So I came out by 2 inches. And then on the neckline, I'm also going to just mark that point. So I'm going to go ahead and connect everything together. So I'm going to trace out the pattern on this fabric using my chalk, as you see me doing. So I'm just tracing everything out. So once I'm done extending this line on the waistline, I'm going to go ahead and come up by 3 inches on the waistline. So I came up by 3 inches. This is going to be for my band. The band I'm going to use to wrap this dress, this is where it is going to come from. So I'll go ahead and mark the 3 inches. So once I was done, I'll go ahead and connect all the points together. So from that 3 inches that I came up with, I'm going to connect it to the extension we made on the chest line, just the way you see me doing. And from that chest line, I'm going to connect all the way to the neckline. And this is our wrap forming. So I'm going to use my ruler and make the lines more visible and straight. So I'll go over this one more time so you understand it better. After placing my basic bodice, I extended this line by 8.5 inches, as you can see on my waistline. And then on the chest line, I came out by 2 inches as well, and then I connected all the points together. And remember that on the waistline we came up by 3 inches for the band, and after that we connected everything together. So now I'll proceed to cut everything off. So once I was done, this is what we have. And remember, this cloth is on fold, so we cut both sides of the wrap together. It is easier that way. So this is how it looks. Our wrap is already taking shape. This is one of the easiest ways I cut my wrap and it comes out perfectly. So the next step now is to pipe the neckline. So I already cut out a bias tape from the fabric and I'm going to use that and pipe the back neckline. I'll go over to my sewing machine to do that. So for the front piece, I'm going to do the same thing as well. I'm going to get my bias tape and I'm going to pipe the neckline for both sides of the front. So I'll go over to my sewing machine to do that. So here I've piped the back neckline, as you can see, and I've also done the same thing for the front, the both sides of the front. I've already piped the front neckline, and once I was done with that, I'll set that aside and we'll proceed to cut the sleeve. So here I folded my fabric into two for the sleeve, and the sleeve we are working with is a bell sleeve. So I have my basic sleeve pattern with me. This is what I'm going to use to cut out our bell sleeve. And in order to achieve this style, I proceeded to fold my fabric in a bias form. I kept on measuring the width of the full length to make sure it is 15 inches because that's how wide I want it to be. Once I got that, I proceeded to mark it and then I drew a straight line across. Now I'm going to measure the full length of this sleeve, the full length I want for this sleeve. So I want it to be like 26 or 25 inches. So I went ahead to mark 26 inches for the full length of the sleeve. Now I proceeded to trace out the sleeve pattern on the fabric, and once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut it off. So here we have our bell sleeve ready and it's looking so pretty. Now I'm going to proceed to cut the other part. I folded my fabric in a bias form again, and then I'm going to place this one we already cut on it and then cut out the other one. So once I was done, I went ahead to notch this middle part so it will be easier for us when we are joining. Here I'm going to proceed to join the shoulder together. I placed the fabric right sides facing each other. Here I've joined the shoulders together as you can see. So now I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and secure the sides. I'm going to take in the allowance that we took earlier. I'm also going to attach my sleeves as well. So I'm going to place both sleeves and then I'll go over to my sewing machine and secure it. So here I was done joining the sleeves as you can see, and the top is already coming up. So now I'm going to measure what I have on the waistline. So this is where we are going to do the gathers. So I'll get my tape now and I'm going to measure all around the waist. This is so we will know the amount of fabrics that we are going to cut out for our gathers. After measuring, I have about 57 inches and I'm going to cut out at least 57 times 2 of fabric. So we'll be able to have enough to gather. So if you check the picture that we are working with, you discover that this gown has 2 layers of gathers. And to determine the amount of fabric you are cutting out, the length, it depends on how short you want your dress to be. If you want it very short, you can just measure from your waist to how short you want it to be, then divide it into 2. As for me, I wanted mine to be a little bit longer. So for the width, I have 57 inches times 2 plus extra inches, about like 10 inches extra. And then this second part is obviously going to be bigger than the first layer. So here I have 57 inches times 3. I've also gone ahead to hem both the upper and the lower part of this as you can see. So this is how we are going to do these gathers. I'm going to gather this second layer on top of the first layer. So that means I'm going to take in about 1.5 inches on the top of the first layer. So I'm going to place it there and then I'm going to make small pleats because I don't have enough fabric to work with. So I'll do that on top of the first layer, just the way you see me illustrate. So here I was done joining the first and second layer together and I've gone ahead to make the small pleats I told you guys. So this is how it looks. This is how I joined this as you can see. So if you are confused on this, just comment down below and I'm going to explain it better. So I went ahead to measure this second part that I've joined together and what I have here is 22 inches. Please, when cutting this out, make sure that you take note of the hemming allowance and this joining allowance. So once I was done, I'm going to attach this to the upper part of this dress and I'm going to make small pleats with it. So this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the upper part of this dress and then the lower part, and then I'm going to make small pleats on the waistline. So this is how it is going to be. So I'll go over to my sewing machine now and I'm going to do the pleats. Here I was done with the pleats and this is what we have. Our gown is already taking shape. So now the next step for me is to go ahead and attach a band, because we are going to have a band we are going to use and wrap this. So here I'm going to attach a band on this waist side. So here I've cut out the fabric I will use for the band. I had to join the fabrics together because I didn't have enough fabric. So the width of this is about 60 inches. So that's how long I want my band to be. Yours can be shorter or even longer. So now I'm going to fold this thing together and I'll go over to my sewing machine and turn it. Here, this is what I have once I've turned it over and it's looking so neat as you can see. So now I'm going to attach this on our dress. This is what we are going to use to wrap it round on our waist. So I'm going to use my pin to hold this together, and once I'm done with that, I'll go back to my sewing machine and secure it. So here I was done joining the belt for our wrap, and I've also hemmed this all the way to the end of this dress. So I did the same thing on the other side. I've already hemmed it all the way to the end of the dress as well. So now I'm going to make an opening where we are going to pass our wrap. I'm going to attach a small clip at the end of this video on how to do this wrap in case you don't know how to go about it. So I went ahead to open up a little allowance that is going to be enough to pass my belt around my waist. So once I was done with that, this is what I have, and just make sure it's enough to pass your belt. So guys, our gown is 100% ready now, and this is how it looks. If you have any questions concerning this gown, please don't hesitate to ask me on the comments. I am going to answer you. So everything is ready now. We have our belt, as you can see, and this is how it's going to be when we wrap it together. The sleeve is there and everything is looking so pretty. This is how the back looks as well, and is looking so pretty. So we are coming to the end of this tutorial, guys. So guys, if you're finding it difficult to wrap this around your waist, please watch this video. You are going to understand it better. So if you've watched this point, thank you so much for sticking by, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.